Hello YouTube, and welcome to another Let's Play Gacha Memories, the visual novel. Today, I was actually playing through Rules of Survival, but apparently, the servers had to be maintenance. So, why not do Gacha Memories? Let's continue on with it. Let's post my videos on Anime Amio. Why not? And also, I'm not sure how long this channel is gonna be on. But when I get like better things to play, or something that involves around VR or like computer top games. But for now, this current channel is actually more of a test subject. It's like a YouTube test subject for me. So, when I get better at doing these videos, we probably would have some. Well, actually, no, never mind. We might actually go have another YouTube channel. And I'm probably have like a collab with one of my friends and share one YouTube channel. That may come in the future. But let's continue on with the story. If I remember correctly, the last time we played this, we were about to make our decision to Looney of what we're gonna do. Because both Miss Zuko and I, well, us the player, got seriously injured. And our souls might get destroyed. Well, let's continue on. Let's see. Day 5, Scene 1. And also, I did check the 2 decisions that we could have made. Both of them are not very good. Well, one. But either way. God damn it. Quick. Let's retry that. And I have my drink near me. Because I'm well aware how much talk I'm gonna do. In hindsight, the choice was always obvious to me. I never truly want to stay away from this problem, even as part of me was worried about it interfering in my life, since it is happening on Earth. But exactly why is this happening on Earth that I have invested myself on? I didn't save their world just because I thought I was in a cool game, nor from running away. I have been labeled a hero. It's about time I start acting like it. With that said, after I made my choice, everyone looked at me with resigned expressions, but they still smiled. Ellie even said, "Of course you'll do that." After that, Looney said that both me and Miss Zuko will be staying in her house until we recovered fully from the damage we received on that fight. After that, she ordered the 2 of us to pick a room and go to sleep. I was pretty surprised at how tired I was. I fell asleep almost immediately. I fell asleep. I think there's an A supposed to be in there. Don't know if it's just me. Although I'm not the type of person that would go after literature like that. I'm the type of person that would actually go at math. I fell asleep almost immediately after hitting the bed. Ugh, it still hurts after all. What time is it? I was still in my clothes from yesterday, so my phone is still in my pocket. 9 a.m. Quite early, or how tired I was. I slowly get up and look over myself. I am a mess. Probably stink from not taking a bath since yesterday, and my arm hurts. I better take care of it. At least one of those problems. Lily's bath is much better than mine. Feeling refreshed, I step out of the bath, wrap in a bathrobe I found, carefully moving so as to not hit or move my left arm too much. Some clothes are neatly folded on the bed, including underwear. I touch them with my right hand. The material is quite soft and and it looks comfortable. They're casual, but seems easily to move around with them. I smiled. Smiling, I proceed to head back in the bathroom to change. I feel much better after the rest in the bath, but it's still hard to move my arm. And without wincing in pain. The bruises I got on the other day are gone, though, which I am thankful for. I'm about to enter the elevator when a message arrived. Mooney is asking us to meet her in her living room. Well, I was doing just that anyway. I look back at the corridor to see a ball of fluff getting out of the room. Mrs. Zico. Oh, Raimundo, good morning. She says in good spirits. It seems she's better already. How's your back? Much better. Actually, I overslept by a lot. I normally up very early, but that bruise really got to me. But since I'm me, my natural healing is super fast. My back is still sore, but nowhere near as much as yesterday. I see. I'm glad for that, Mrs. Sugo. You had me really worried yesterday. I let out a sigh of relief. Seeing her taking that blast head on was rather traumatic. And I'm glad she is feeling better now. It's not like I was in true peril. I'm stronger than I look. Besides, you were there. She blushing. Still, I was worried. Especially after Looney told us what those texts do. My throat is a little bit sore. I think it would take more than a single laser to take me down for good. But that thing still hurts a lot. How is your arm? She now is staring at the purple appendage hanging limply at my side. It's not as bad as it looks, but I still can't move it very well. Well, not without wincing in pain anyway. Putting on shirts is much more troublesome now. I see. The look on her eyes. She is feeling guilty over it. Miss Zigon already told you. It's not your fault. If anything, you took far more damage than me by taking it on your back. But Raimundo, you are human. Humans are terrifyingly frail, even with your increased powers due to being the wielder of the gacha sword. Your natural regeneration is still the same as a normal human being, even if your endurance is much greater. This is the same argument as yesterday, Mr. Sickle. I survived a lot of dangerous things during the corruption incident, including the 3 girls who are here. 4 if Lilith is around, isn't that proof that I'm not frail? Yeah, I kinda agreed with that. And yes, and I still haven't do the videos for Gacha World. Sorry, I'm just thinking when I should do that. Maybe tomorrow, maybe after I'm done with this? Don't know. Multiple videos? But so, let's continue on with the story. And let's check on the time. So we're around that time, so. But for some reason, Mystical still shakes her head sadly. You still don't understand. Never mind. Looney's waiting for us downstairs. What is so concerning about me being a human in relation to them? Mystical looks so downcast. I want to comfort her somehow. Or at least allow me to do something for you. At least so my conscience can stop gnawing at me. I wonder what that is. At that, a single paper tag. I love Ofuda? A food? Can't even pronounce that. I believe they're called appeared in a mystical hand being held between her middle and index finger. Before I could ask what she was doing, she flicked it towards me, and I watched it as it approached my bruised limb. Huh? It stuck there, and despaired. I was mostly certain even a paper touch anywhere there would have hurt. Mystical, what do you do? I actually can't feel my limb anymore. Like the numbness you get from sleeping over your arm, but without the piercing feeling of the needles. Well, you said you can't move it anyway. Numbing a bruise and hurting part of your body can help a lot with recovery in the right conditions. I was more than once called to bless surgeries in the past. I picked some things up. That's quite neat. Thank you, Mrs. Suko. It's the least I can do after all you've done. Now come on, let's go before Looney-chan creates a hole under our feet to hurry us up. Both me and Miss Suko then enter the elevator, waiting for in comfortable silence for the short travel to the first floor. Now that I think about it, something was bothering me about this whole thing. Looney was visibly shaken up after her analysis. Like some terrifying nightmare had become reality. She recovered quickly, but even I could recognize the beginning of a panic attack. The mood on the living room quickly snuffed out. The easygoing atmosphere of both me and Mystico had. Looney was sitting on the table with her hands on her head. Lilith was there too, trying to comfort her master with a soft shoulder massage. Ellie looked worried, and upon spotting me, had quickly flew towards me. Raimundo Mystico, are you two okay? My natural healing took care of the problem pretty fast. I'm not 100%, but I'll be there in just another day of rest. Master. Ow. I had a hiccup there. And you, how are you feeling? She looks really worried, even more so than yesterday. I wonder what happened. It hurt less than yesterday, at least. I still can't move it, though. I'm still here decided to numb my arm, for the time being. I see, that's good. At least you won't be in pain during the healing process. Ellie was wrong. Why is Looney like that? Well, a hacker, a bloody hacker, and not just any, but the absolute worst of them. Looney's voice was shaking shaky as she told that. In fact, she seemed absolutely terrified right now. But a hacker? Not those nerds who hack into computers for money or crack in pirate games. The correct term would be a reality hacker. A reality hacker? But don't your abilities work quite like that? Then he shakes her head. You're wrong. My abilities allow me to create, modify, and erase things. And this is a very short summary of my ability. A hacker, on the other hand, can't create, but they still have the power to modify and erase things. Often forcefully, but they tend to be annoying. Low pass at most. She takes a sharp breath, pushing herself against Lilith's body, seemingly wanting to draw as much comfort for her succubus as she can. Said companion is slightly supporting her master, not giving a single innuendo for once. Except one. I spent the rest of yesterday researching the results of all the data I gathered so far, and I didn't want to believe it. I'm scared, Raimundo. I'm scared. I've never been so scared in my life. This won't just mean my end, but of everything I love and cherish. Nuni is still nearly breaking down, and she wanted to deal with it alone, all by herself, as she sent me off a mine. That is it. I made the correct choice by saying, walking up to her, I take both Nuni's hands in mine and look in her eyes. Nuni, please calm down. I'm here. Lilith's here. Nasuko is here. Ellie is here. All of us are strong enough to do the impossible. Please, can you tell me what's wrong? Raimundo. She takes a few deep breaths, trying to contain her fear before letting out a small, bitter laugh. I'm sorry for that, but it's the truth. I'm scared of my wits, but I can at least tell you why. This is the story of something that happened before my birth. This is something that is literally older than both my and your universe, Raimundo. Once there existed in by God, influenced of people like me, creators born either from nothingness like me, or from parent creators. They used to be the main ruling cast of existence, and were basically the ones who set the rules for their own little universes. They actually had a home. The creators of past never directly live in their universe, like me, but rather they live amongst their own kind. Legends tell that it was a place of ultimate beauty. Oh, god damn. I'm not gonna try and say that. Incomprehensible to human eyes. There. Creators of old were like solar systems, with their universes rotating around them, displaying each individual creator's own skill at creation. However, those creators weren't the most involved deities. They preferred to mingle amongst themselves than deal with their creations, which they regard as a work of art most of the time. They were too large to notice the individual struggles of an unfavorable amount of lives that they created. Then the unthinkable happened. A human sorcerer managed to find his way into the heavenly home of the gods. Wow. So this person had 3 eyes, 2 on their head, and 1 on their body? Talk about looking with your body, huh? His name was lost to time, but he wanted more than anything to meet one responsible for his creation, his one true God. And so he did, landing in front of his surprised creator. And so he did meet him. Sol, the one who created the universe, where the powerful sorcerer came from. However, Sol was arrogant and prideful. He saw it as a deep insult that a lesser being would dare touch the holy home of the creators. So enraged was Sol that he took the orbiting universe in his metamorphical hands and crushed it right in front of the sorcerer, erasing everything and everyone the sorcerer ever held dear. That was the most terrible of all mistakes. The sorcerer, hurt, betrayed, and enraged beyond everything else, lashed out at with all his power, using every single ounce of skill he possessed that allowed him to meet Sol. After an intense fight, the sorcerer managed to win, and thus stole Sol's power. His hatred grew beyond compare, thinking all creators to be like Sol. So to remind himself of his hatred, he took the name of the fallen creator, Sol, as he was called from now on, began to lead the downfall of the creators. He was the first of the Saurians, as what his followers were called, infiltrating countless universes. He managed to rise an army of mages with reality hacking powers, an army that amounted to the same number of stars in Earth's universe. The fight was something so ridiculous even I have trouble imagining it. Uncountable lives lost on each side, but somehow Sol's army managed to completely destroy the creator's home, forcing them to flee, although at a cost of over 99% of his army. Sorry, there was something that going on over here on my side, but oh, it's hard to see this little thing right here among this whole background. So we're currently sitting at 22 minutes. I'm pretty sure the next session is coming up close. I think so, but however, Sol wasn't satisfied there. He and his remaining Saurians went on to hurt and kill all creators, be them old or newborn, and his power only grew. The highest and darkest moments hurt. Boom. That looked weird. that definitely not something I want to see. Was when he and his army managed to kill Genesis, the very first creator, someone who could create hundreds of universes and concepts with a single wave of his hand, gone forever by the hatred of a powerful sorcerer. However, that was all part of Genesis' plan to deal with the single greatest threat to creation. For you see, if creators are killed permanently, reality will eventually die due to entropy. So then realizes, but it's possible that he also wouldn't care. Genesis' death allowed him to stun Sol, something deemed impossible because of the power he acquired due to having absorbed the powers of billions of creators. The other elders of these creators seized the chance, and so was it that the oldest and most powerful creators joined together, one for each element, to seal him off forever. He was finally sealed off somewhere where his powers will not grow, where his influence will have been null. His followers are still a threat, but many of them are relatively weak compared to creators, and just in such a few number after the fight with Genesis, that the few remaining are likely to be hiding. Yet the same could be said about us, creators. We'll never again be as plentiful as before. We live shattered, hiding, or simply ignorant of our own past and purpose. Honestly, this cell was so ridiculous I didn't believe it at first when by chance I came upon it. I didn't even know how much of that is true or exaggeration, but the reading I got from that data, they scared me. Because if this is true, if that red coffin is indeed the place he is sealed off, if that seal breaks, no, in the first place, such strength is ridiculous. Legends and myths tend to be gross, grossly exaggerated for the sake of drama, but I can't help it. If he can counter my powers, it wouldn't be able to protect any of you. That's why that seals must not be broken. We need to find a way to seal him off permanently. The myth says he targeted only creators, however. It also told that he also destroyed everything those creators hold dear. She looked at everyone in the room, her gazes lingering on me, Ellie, and finally Lilith, who was hugging her in a time of comfort. For someone like me, both bonds are very important. I don't want to lose those. To lose that. I didn't want to lose any of you. This is something serious from that tale Looney told us. Even I am not sure I could defeat him by myself, especially if his powers are way beyond any sense of reason I possess. Fighting Looney when she was corrupted was like that. I didn't win because I overpowered her. I won because I was stubborn. Looney, you shouldn't let fear of the unknown to get to you. You of all people know your full potential. Yeah, besides, I'm here, and so is Raimundo. Together we are invincible. I may be below you in strength, but never underestimate the light. I am a goddess too, so I won't hesitate to lend you my full help in this. You're so dependable. I'm glad I got to meet all of you. I am sorry about the scene I caused. I let my fear of an ancient myth get the better of me. Don't worry, Looney. It's okay to be afraid of something. It helps to be extra careful. On that note, how did you came across this myth? If there is so few creators left, this is before I created Lilith. I decided to observe the world more closely. So I went to one of its humans' planet. I was still relatively inexperienced. The universe being barely larger than this living room. I didn't do much, mostly using my abilities to remain unseen as I observed human behavior, but it looked like she was struggling to say something. I was doing an experiment, trying to replicate materials in that world, when I was suddenly attacked. It was a Solarian cultist who was hunting for newborn creators. I was pretty weak at the time, still trying to understand how my powers worked. I got defeated pretty handily. I wouldn't lie, I was terrified of dying, and I kept asking, why was he doing that to me? When he looked to be on verge of crying again. That must have been a pretty traumatic experience for her. He started to gloat, and told me the story I just told you now. It was only thanks to the creator's mind that I was able to both pay attention to him and manage to impale him from behind. There was a time of my life where I actively hunted those cultists, but they were so rare in the first place that I decided to go back to my natural urge of creating stuff. However, I was attacked by a large group of them, and they destroyed several of my earlier works. I managed to delete all of them, but the fight left me very stressed. Or I existed at the time, Looney was feeling both sad and angry. This was all before the corruption incident took both of us over, though. It may have been the result of it, I'll never know. I know, however, that after a while I started researching random numbers in order to control my own luck and that of my own universe. Not too soon after, though, the stress overtook me, and so did the corruption. That somehow resulted in Ellie's being born. And then Raimundo appeared, and the rest of the story. Honestly, I never thought I would have to deal with those cultists again, but to have to deal with them with their fairy deity. Lily shakes her head for some reason. It seems she is a bit calmer now. And for now, I'm gonna stop the video, and let's do with part 2 coming up right after this. But first,